Hello, everyone. I'm Katie Talati, Director of Research at Arca. I'm responsible for identifying and analyzing digital asset and blockchain opportunities for Arca's funds. As part of our research, my team and I examine token prices and the market events that act as catalysts for price shifts. Based on our research and market events over the past week, we wanted to share with you some notable price movements and what we think drove these moves. For those of you who are new to what's driving token prices, as a reminder, this commentary is not intended to be investment advice, investment research, or an investment recommendation. Please consult your investment professional for your own circumstances. Okay, guys, it has been a busy week, so we will jump right in and starting off with Soulend. So Solend is a Solana-based borrow-lend protocol. It is basically this last week, they ended up creating a DAO and pushed through a vote over the weekend to take control of a single user's position on the platform that was at risk of getting liquidated. So more specifically, the user or whale had borrowed $108 million in stablecoins in returns for $170 million of Solana as collateral. The liquidation price of the Solana, or the price at which this Solana position would liquidate was $22.27. The price at the time that this decision or the DAO was spun up was $27. So people were getting pretty worried, especially as we were seeing, ranges of 10 to 20% over the weekend in token price movements. So Soulend's team was concerned that the whale would fail to top up their collateral, leading to massive liquidations on Soulend and other Solana DeFi products. As a result, Soulend released a proposal to grant emergency power to temporarily take over the whale's account so the liquidation can be executed OTC. Yes, that's exactly what you think it means. Basically, a DeFi protocol voted to take over a single user's account, which kind of goes against the whole decentralization ethos. So there's a ton of backlash basically after this proposal went out, because the proposal went out, it was voted through. It also got voted through with 97% saying yes to the vote, and 90% of that vote came from a single user. So first of all, we're saying, okay, this product is, first of all, super centralized. And then everybody's like, wait a second, you just pushed through this emergency vote to take away somebody's assets, essentially. So following the public backlash, a second proposal was submitted to invalidate the first proposal and increase voting periods to 1 day. So the whale ended up, by the way, eventually getting in touch with the Soulend team and working it out. But yeah, that was that. I think, unfortunately, a blow to DAOs, a blow to decentralized governance, really doesn't show how much that can be done. As a result of this, Soulend is trading down 10.5% week over week. All right, next up we have Immutable X. So Immutable X is a layer 2 scaling solution on Ethereum, specifically meant for blockchain-based games. So this last week, Immutable X actually partnered with MasterCard to allow NFT purchases with fiat, which is huge. I think I've talked about this a few times, maybe even as recently as last week, but any ability for users to just purchase any type of asset on crypto with a credit card or with fiat without having to go to Coinbase first and buy Bitcoin or Ethereum and then send it off chain. That is a huge benefit. So they also announced Arca, an NFT bridge between L1 Ethereum and L2 Starknet. They also launched a $500 gaming and NFT fund backed by Immutable Venture Partners and Immutable's own balance sheet. Despite this, however, volumes on Immutable X are down about 42% month over month. In general, that's kind of in line with the broader NFT trading space. Immutable X is up 3.7% week over week on this news. All right, FTX is up next. So FTX had quite a busy week. They've really been in the headlines a lot recently. So first off, they were in the news for bailing out BlockFi, which is a centralized lending and borrowing company. So they basically said that they provide BlockFi a revolving credit facility of $250 million. They then released a statement that FTX US, the US branch of FTX, acquired a clearing firm, Embed. The acquisition, many believe, will allow FTX US to provide white label brokerage services. Then today, Alameda, which is pretty much the same as FTX, they're the trading firm that is part of the exchange, agreed to provide exchange Voyager with a revolving credit line of $200 million in USDC and 15,000 BTC. For those of you who haven't been following the news, both Voyager and BlockFi were said to have exposure to Three Arrows Capital, which went through an unwind last week and has resulted in liquidations and defaults across the digital assets ecosystem. Despite all these very expensive outlays, FTX may actually be suffering. There was a report that went out a little under the radar that FTX actually dropped out of talks with the LA Angels Major League Baseball team, which they were under negotiations to have the FTX patch on players' jerseys for the upcoming season. I guess we'll have to see. But despite all this, FTX is up 5% week over week. All right, finally, we have Uniswap. Uniswap is the largest decentralized exchange. This week, Uniswap made waves acquiring Genie XYZ. Genie is an NFT aggregator. So basically, instead of having to go to OpenSea, to Rarible, to LooksRare to buy one particular NFT, you can just go to Genie and say, hey, I want to see, it's like the Kayak or the Expedia of NFT products. So basically, Uniswap has acquired Genie, and the acquisition is designed to pave the way for Uniswaps to enter the NFT space. And they said that they're planning to offer trading on ERC 721 assets by the fall. ERC 721 assets are NFT assets. ERC 20 is the normal token standard that everyone uses. So this really should be a huge expansion for Uniswap's business, and maybe a way for them to capture even greater volumes than they already have. Uniswap is up 22% this week on that news. All right, guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed our insights. Tune in here again next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific to hear what's driving token prices.